guys, we got this. Let's go. Gun white trip sweep. Pros X go. On one. Ready?
Ready.
What's going on, everyone? Cap24 here from HuddleGG. And today we're going to talk about a really popular style of defense that people are using at a spinner when they're facing bunch or anything that looks very similar to bunch, to where there's a solo receiver on one side and then the rest of the receivers are on the other side, right? And this is something that I use or get faced a lot because it's the Y-off trio week. I got a lot of people, whether it's YouTube, in my DMs, or Discord, they're saying, I'm facing this a lot. How are you combating this? So I want to give you kind of a tactic that I use, and you can use this yourself if you're facing this style that typically gets them out of it. As simple as that, right? So let's call the spinner, and I'm going to call bunch just to kind of show you what they're doing, and then I'm going to go into my own formation and give you kind of the reason why it works against both, okay? So here's the tactic. If you guys are not aware of this, if you want to use this to yourself, absolutely. What they're doing is they're putting their outside players on cloud flats, taking their safeties and manning them up to the outside players like this. And then on bunch, what they'll do is they take that A linebacker, put him on the tight end, and they'll take the RB and put him on the RB guy, and it looks like this, okay? Now here's their user, and this is what they're basically betting on. If the running back goes out, they're going to go ahead and get him, and that's basically going to allow this guy to come flying in, and they got an easy sack. If they go ahead and block their running back, right, now it allows this guy to get totally free and guard the middle of the field. You can see those cloud flats. If they leave them the way they are, they're going to chuck, and then they're going to basically cover basically up to about 10 to 15 yards, right? Well, they can put those guys on 15 yards and take any type of corner route away and basically say, funnel them to the inside. And that's why this is very, very popular, because this guy now can say, with man coverage, they're going to know that they have the ability to just worry about inside breaking routes, and it's tough. You've got all these KOs, you've got inside shades, you got a lot going on, right? So a lot of people are playing this against me as well, because I use something like the gun Y-off trio week as one of the formations I use. I've shown this in our YouTube videos. And if I just audible to it, it's the same thing, right? They're funneling everybody to the middle of the field, and it's pretty hard to attack this with all that stuff, especially if they're sending heat. And, you know, if they're sending heat, a lot of times you have to block that running back. So what are we doing to combat this? And it's pretty simple, actually. And it's something that I want to at least give you an option to understand why it's happening and why you can use this for yourself. I audible from this and my playbook, which is the Chargers, to tray offset. What that's going to do, it's going to take these two players over here, right, Rice and Carmichael, and move them to the left while moving this Y to the right. And there's a specific play that I like, which could be hot routed, don't get me wrong, but because it's quick, it's called tight end in. And what you see when this happens is that if you look at how everything ends up, the Y is going to get uncovered because the guy that's going to cover him is the player that has the F over his head. The running back's going to be uncovered because basically they didn't have anybody on him originally. And it's going to look like this. And if they don't do anything, it's an easy touchdown to the Y or to the RB, depending on who the user covers. So a lot of times if they see this, like, oh crap, I got to go over here, cover this. Now I'm just going to go throw it to my, my running back, and I'm going to get all these yards, right? Now, if they did the opposite, and they went to the running back, the Y is over the top. So what this is essentially doing is saying, if you're going to play this style, I'm going to audible and make what your adjustments were hurt you in that advantage. So I'll do it again here. I'll start with my own play that I use, right? So I'll go to the Y-off trio week, and I'll do the same thing. This is how they're doing it. And sometimes I'll show you the other adjustment that they'll do, and it works the same. The other adjustment they'll do is they'll take this corner and they'll man them up on a crisscross to the running back. So it looks like this. So on the right side, where there's the three side where they're going to possibly get a flood concept, the cloud flats over there. On the left side, they're like, you know what? If that running back doesn't go out, then my corner is going to help with that, player on the left, and they almost double team him, while I still have the ability to roam the middle of the field. That's as simple as it is, right? So if I go ahead and do this audible to the tight end in, like I'm telling you, they've got two options at this point. They can start trying to, adjust their players. So the first thing that I'll see a lot of times when they adjust their players is they're going to take this blitzing guy on the left, and they're going to man him up on the Y, okay? Now, in all honesty, That is exactly what we want them to do, because now they have absolutely no pass rush. There's no way they're going to get to you. So now at this point, you've kind of won the game to where it's man coverage typically will get open, on routes and routes that you can run if you have enough time. But when they get pressure on you, they're trying to get you to throw the ball before you can have that separation to where the KOs could basically beat them. So you're winning that. What if they go ahead and they reset the play? If they reset the play, you're going to see how these guys are this. They're going to have to try to, press them again if they want. Look where this guy is. He is nowhere near getting any good pressure on you. They're going to have to do something to, still go after the running backs. A lot of times, because the guy is typically already on this player, they're going to man up this guy over here after they've reset it. And this is what you're looking at. And at this point, this is so much easier to attack because of the fact that they don't have any clouds on the field. They're trying to figure out what they want to do. They can only cover so much. So now like the adjustment to your adjustment is that that's what they're doing. Sometimes people go into a cover 2-man press. And a lot of times I like this because if I see that they're into cover 2 and this is what they did, and this guy went all the way back over here and he didn't stay on the left side of the field, I know if I could just put the X on a streak, then what I'm actually doing here is I'm going to be able to attack to that Y basically in the middle of the field as soon as he kind of crosses that guy in that middle, or whatever the case is, right? Because we're basically trying to attack him that way. Now, if they go to the next one, like cover 3, then now it's a lot easier. They're not blitzing you. You're getting them out of that cross-man blitz. And that's what the whole thing is, right? So what I see is a lot of times I'm going to get a free touchdown the first time they run it. The second time they run it, they're scrambling. And if you can get a couple completions, just something simple, and know that you're attacking them in a way that they are not liking, they'll get out of it. As simple as that. They'll stop doing it. And now you've got a game to where you're back to where, this is what their main defense was. Let's see what their secondary defense is. So this tip, guys, is just something to think about. All you got to do, it doesn't matter what you're in. It can go to trips tight end. It can go to any formation that's got, basically moves the receivers from one side to the other and work it out. So like if I was in something like this to where I go to spread double flex, what's going to happen is only one guy is going to go over. So it's not going to change the same way, right? Trey Y flex is going to work exactly the same way, right? Because if I go from this to Trey Y flex, the running back goes right, 2 guys go left, and now they're going to have that same type of deal. So it doesn't have to be trips. It can be Trey Y flex. It could be other formations that have 3 to the left. So just keep that in mind. Use this tactic to get them out of that type of coverage and, basically, take command of the game and make them do what you want to do rather than the opposite.